Hello, everyone. Tonight I'm going to be talking about medicinal mushrooms for animals. So let's start. Do you know a cat with herpes, the Kaliki virus, or feline immune deficiency, or a dog going through chemotherapy treatments, perhaps a bird suffering from beak and feather diseases? How about senior cats and dogs that need an extra boost? Well, guess what? They all may benefit from mushroom therapy. Now, let's take a look at the mushroom. First, there is the T-shaped fruiting body. Next are the spores that fall off the fruit. And because the spores are male and female, they will meet and combine to make more mushrooms. The mushroom you see above the ground is only a small part of a much bigger organism, which is the mycelium, an underground network of thread-like fibers. There are approximately 2 million species of fungi, but only 1,400 are known to man. In traditional Chinese medicine, 300 species are used for medicine. Of that number, about 200 species have anti-tumor properties, and the most famous is the Ganoderma lucidum, known as Ling Shi in China or Reishi in Japan. Mushrooms are 70% carbohydrates and 30% proteins. Unlike plants, they store polysaccharides in starch, and mushrooms store it in the form of glucogen, which is a polysaccharide that is the chief carbohydrate storage material in animals. Humans share 30% of their DNA with mushrooms, which makes us more closely related to fungi than to plants. Mushrooms breathe in oxygen and expel carbon dioxide, and fungi protein looks more like animal protein than plant protein. Mushrooms don't contain chlorophyll, but plants do. The defense mechanism that fungi use against other fungi infections can actually help us. When we consume medicinal mushrooms, it can have a potent effect on the immune system. Mushrooms are immune modulators, or biological response modifiers, BRMs for short. It's like they have an intelligence that seems to know whether the immune system needs more stimulation or less stimulation. So whether you have an immune deficiency or an autoimmune disease like MS, mushrooms will work with the body. There's a number of compounds that contribute to the BRM effect, such as lectins, terpenoids, polysaccharides, and their peptides, and fungi immodulator proteins, or FIPs for short. The most well-known PRM compound that most people are familiar with are beta-glucans. Beta-glucans are largely responsible for warding off tumors, cardiovascular disease, immune deficiency, hormonal imbalances, viral, bacterial, and parasitic diseases. Beta-glucans and complex proteins don't directly attack virus or bacteria or cancer cells. Instead, what they do is activate different immune pathways, such as macrophages, T cells, B cells, natural killer cells, and then activate the antibodies. So, what's the best way to consume medicinal mushrooms? Well, in Asia, the traditional method is to consume medicinal mushrooms as a decoction or a very strong tea. Simmering whole dried mushrooms in hot water makes them more bioavailable and the best way to receive benefits. Those important beta-glucans are actually in the cell walls of the mushrooms, which are made of chitin, CHITIN, and it's only hot water that can release them. There are two types of medicinal mushrooms you can buy on the market: extraction and non-extraction. In non-extraction, the product will contain mycelium, or the mushroom's fruit, that has been dried and powdered and then encapsulated. Unfortunately, you won't get any major therapeutic benefits from these products. And the bad news is 95% of the mushroom products for sale on the market are non-extracted. Now, in extraction, the hot water method is used and will produce approximately 12% to 38% beta-glucans depending on the product. There are 3 types of extraction procedures. Number 1, the hot water is centrifuged off and the extracts are dehydrated and the byproducts are then encapsulated. Or 2, there is hydroalcohol extract where the mycelium or the mushroom fruit is tinctured in alcohol. It hasn't been extracted in hot water, but will have the same beta-glucan level as if it has been prepared in hot water. And the 3rd method, the mushroom is extracted in hot water, dried off, and the byproduct is added to alcohol. And it's the 3rd method that has the highest amount of active constituents, second to a decoction. It's very important to know your product and read the labels. If you can, ask how the product was prepared. If you see beta-glucan levels on the labels, then you probably have a product that has been extracted in hot water at some point. But if you don't see beta-glucan level on the product's label, then it's likely not extracted and therefore will not contain much beta-glucan. Anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about tonight. And if you want more information, please visit my website, catsanddogsnaturally.com, and I'll say good night. Speak to you soon.